Morning everyone. Hey, it's Len from Mercury Man Garage here again. And yes, we are outdoors again. Beautiful out here. You got to take advantage of it while you can, because it's Michigan. It could change any day. But this is beautiful fall weather, hoodie weather. You know, I've said it before, fall is my favorite, so I'm going to take advantage of it while I can get outdoors. But I'm standing here beside my new wood yard. You saw in those clips as we were passing through my old wood yard, it's a disaster. And it's kind of right out in the sun. It's kind of in the way of everything that I want to improve over the years. So I'm moving my wood yard over here to, as you can see, the shade. So I can at least work out here maybe in the summer if needed on a cooler day. Probably won't, but this is the time of year I like to do this, and it's still out of the sun. And it's in an area where I'm not going to improve. It's just going to be a wood yard, basically. And eventually, behind me here, kind of back in that area there, along that tree line, eventually I want to put up a wood shed. So we'll include that in some videos, building a wood shed and an area to store my bundler, the Amish bundler that I purchased, and also all my implements. I want to build a storage shed to put the implements inside so they're out of the weather, under cover, out of the rain, sun, and just get them inside somewhat. But yeah, here's my bundle firewood. I've been working on this over last couple of weeks. This is all oak in this stack here, and then over in this area I have cherry, and it's really turned out to be a nice area for a wood yard. I'm real happy with the shade, and it's out of the way of everything else. But let's get going. Okay, well, as you saw, I put the bucket on the tractor, loaded it up with the chainsaw, the gas, the oil, my helmet, towed the splitter out here to the old wood yard. And we're going to cut up this cherry today and split it up and stack it in the new wood yard. And that way this area will now be cleaned up. And eventually we're going to work on that area over there, get all that out of there and over to the new wood yard. But it's a work in progress. It's just going to take time. I got a lot of other things going on, and we'll get to that when the time comes. But today we're going to focus on these 2 cherry logs, get them split up and stacked. Stay tuned. All right, guys, just to touch base one more time on my equipment here. I know I've shown this before, but I got a county line log splitter. It's a 25-ton that I got from Tractor Supply. And, you know, it's your typical box store splitter. Does a good job. It's just really slow, but they do have a lot of power. They'll cut through a lot of wood. I've split some gnarly stuff with this, but it just takes time, and you know, that's how that goes with these splitters. I would love to get a vertical splitter like an Easton Made or a split fire vertical, and I'll be looking into that. If my bundle firewood business takes off, I'll definitely look into something like that. And I'm sure you noticed I was marking my wood with the old tried and true tape measure and chalk. Now I know there's a lot of other methods of doing that. Marking it maybe quicker, faster, whatever, but I don't know. I'm old school. I'm going to go with the tape and the chalk. And for my chainsaw, I don't know if I've ever covered this on my channel, but you know, I'm a steel guy. I love my steel stuff. Been really happy with their quality and no problems whatsoever with the steel chainsaw. I have a MS 271 Farm Boss that I just purchased about a year ago, and really like this saw. You know, it's not the most powerful, but it's definitely not the least powerful either. And I'm real happy with its performance and what I need it for. Once again, it's the Farm Boss MS271. I'd love to have one of the 500i's, but man, I can't see spending over $1,000 on a saw. Maybe one of these days. Like I said, I sure love the fall, but I can't stand these tumbleweeds. I got a field full of them behind me here, and they always seem to end up in my pole barn. They are all over the place. Once the wind kicks up, they just seem to gather everywhere. Look at that. By these logs I'm gonna split up, they just gather everywhere and they stick to everything. One thing I hate about fall. Okay, well, we got that done. That took all of 10 minutes. But I really like that Farm Boss. That does a really good job of cutting through the wood that I have. I don't have any real big stuff. This is cherry, so, you know, it's fairly hard, but it did a good job. That chain probably could be sharpened, and it would go a little quicker, but I'm pretty happy with the cut. These tumbleweeds, I tell you, they are all over this year. And like I said, they're ending up in my garage, in my barn, and they're even coming in the house. I don't know how they're getting in the house. I guess they're sticking to my pant legs. All right, let's get on to splitting. Okay then, well, we're about halfway done. That was probably 20 minutes or so. Like I said, these box store splitters, horizontal kind, not real efficient, not fast at all. You gotta clean up these channels in here from time to time. They get caked with crud and bark, and otherwise they get jammed up in there like that. You gotta clean that out from time to time. Along with all through here too, they get jammed up with bark and just wood crap. Yeah, it would be nice to have one of those verticals doing something like this. A lot quicker, a lot faster, more efficient, but also more expensive. So there's that. But there's one bucket done. That's all cherry. It's not the greatest looking wood as far as for bundles, but I don't know. I'm kind of the school of thought that does it really matter how it looks? It's more how it burns. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for. Yeah, I get that aesthetic value is important when purchasing bundle firewood. You want it to look nice. But the bottom line is, I'll take good burning wood over good looking wood any day. All right, guys, well, I think that's going to do it for today. Got that wood all cut up and split and stacked over here. It wasn't much, just 2 small logs, but just showed you my process on bundling firewood and what I'm doing with it. And like I said, it's not the prettiest wood. Up here in Michigan where I'm at, I don't get that nice straight, perfect bundle firewood. It's got a lot of branches and knots and things like that, but I don't know, that doesn't seem important to me. I don't know, it burns well, still burns good, and that's the biggest thing. What do you guys do when you're buying bundle firewood? Do you like the perfect bundle firewood, or do you like good burning firewood no matter how it looks? But that's gonna do it, guys. Hopefully you like this. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. All right, have a good one.